I feel like I'm getting full use out of my motorcycle instead of just buzzing in a straight line. Getting the experience of like getting the turns, and when you get it like a turn perfect and you kind of feel the G-forces of going around the corner, that's probably one of the best parts of the feeling, that experience of driving is feeling when you make a perfect corner and you feel those G-forces. It's kind of a little bit like a roller coaster, I guess. Yeah. So that's probably my favorite part of the experience.
It's a great trip, great group of guys, and everyone thinks we're crazy for driving 9 hours down and then we just drive all weekend, but it's just, it's a lifestyle. And it's just fun. You know, when you're driving, you're just really focused on the road itself. You know, we have fun, we go out, but you know, we still obey the laws and we still stay safe. You know, that's one of the biggest things. So we try to stay focused on what we're doing, and you become a part of the road, and it's just, I don't know, you feel it through the steering wheel, you feel every bump in the road, and it's just it gets your adrenaline going, and it's just it's a fun rush.
The guys that I've talked to so far have just been awesome, just car guys. I mean, everyone likes to talk about their car or what they're doing, what their plans are and everything like that. I think it's awesome. Make some new friends and meet up with other car guys, because sometimes it's, even though you work at like a cool place like Hawk, not everyone is into the same thing. So it's awesome just talking, and they're very friendly and always helpful. And so if like my car starts to overheat or something for whatever reason, I mean, everyone runs to it and everyone always helps out. So it's
been Hawk pads for, you know, several years now, and I have them on every single car I own has Hawk pads. Because the Saab is my daily, I have the performance ceramic on it because I don't really want a lot of dust and stuff. But they're still a great pad. They're still completely adequate for what we're doing here. You know, spirited road driving, they nail it. But on my E30, you know, I have more race, track-oriented pads, which they work great.
Okay, my name is Chris Berberick. So I'm driving my 1997 Acura Integra. So when I was 16 years old, about 16 years ago, I thought it was a really cool car, and so I bought it. Just really enjoyed it, and took me a while, built it up, built the engine. I always wanted to turbocharge it, so worked hard, earned all the parts, got all the parts, and built it. And a few years later, it got stolen and it got stripped. So the police actually found the chassis in Columbus, Ohio. That's where I was living at the time. And they recovered it, and the insurance company sold it back to me for $115. So I bought it back, and I ended up rebuilding it. Next thing you know, I had 2 engines for it, and a full interior, and things just started happening. So I rebuilt the car. And then once I was done with it, I sold it to a gentleman, and he bought the chassis from me, and he started building it. And I said, hey, if you ever want to sell the car, let me know. So last year he actually got a hold of me, and I flew into Columbus, I bought the car, and then we immediately drove down to this area so we could drive it on the tail of the Dragon. So that's kind of the skinny of the story. Yeah, so basically, as we were sitting, I noticed that the car was overheating. It hadn't quite reached the point of overheating, but the temperature was climbing, and it was hotter than it should have been. And basically, that's a sign that as we were moving, it was getting the proper air, but once we stopped, it wasn't getting air. So the fan looked like it wasn't turning on. We decided to just test the fan itself to make sure it worked. And then once we found out that the fan did work, we just hardwired the fan. So now I just have to, touch the wires together, turn the fan on. But that was enough to get us back on the road, and then I can diagnose it and fix it properly later. Yeah, it's amazing, and that's one of the reasons why we all stick together and why we come back and do this each year, because it's just we are a group of friends, and we all have the same interests. A breakdown like that, everyone's had similar experiences, and everyone's got different background and different pieces of knowledge. So it's nice that everyone is willing to help and gives you ideas. And sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, your brain doesn't quite work the way it should. So when you have other people kind of giving suggestions or kind of doing some items to help you out, it's real nice. So that's it's just just a group of people with the same type of personality, and we're all a group of friends. So it's no man left behind.
Taylor Allen from Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm a program manager for Hawk Performance. So the first time I tagged along, so I was living out of state, so I just co-drove with my friend Eric and realized I've got to be involved in this group. I got to get a car up here in the state, and really just I got to be part of it. So when I moved to Ohio, I went full into it. I've had 2 different cars I tried to bring on the trip that didn't make it because I had some issues on track days before, and then this year I kind of went hard with the Miata to make sure I had a car prepped for the trip. I'm doing the trip, round trip, no issues, and that was my goal this year. Yeah, definitely here like an OE pad, you'd be having some issues. We've even seen some guys driving daily driver trucks and stuff pull off on the side of the road. You can smell hot brakes. So, like I said, here some of the roads I think are harder on the car than many road courses. So you really need a performance pad here to make sure you're safe. Being part of Carlisle and now Hawk, like I'm really happy that I've been able to help a lot of people enjoy their car, in a way they want to, right? I've helped spec out the pad, make sure they've got the right material, the right part number for their car. The material I use HP Plus, which is a great compound for like a track and street usage. And it's just I think Hawk, we've got a different compound for every vehicle, every pad shape, and it's something that no matter how you're gonna drive, how your style is here, we've got something that'll work. Yeah, we really all just, it's funny, it's just like we have that unifying bond of being into motorsports, or into cars and into motorcycles, and it really just brings everyone together. I mean, I think probably half of us here really, this is the first time meeting each other in person. So it just, that common bond, you become like basically best friends almost immediately.
Dustin Crooks, and I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan. So I work with about 4 or 5 of the guys here from Toyota, so it's a good time. This weekend I'm driving a Honda S2000. This is my first year. Not what I expected. I mean, I guess I already knew it was just gonna be a bunch of car guys hanging out, so that's always a good time. The Tail of the Dragon was a lot more windy than I expected and a lot more tight, so it was really cool getting to drive that. I do like a lot of track events with this car, so that it's kind of like open and a lot of area to I guess play around and mess up, but on the trail everything's really tight, there's trees everywhere, so I enjoyed that. Every corner is new. It's almost impossible to like learn all that really quickly. So I went to the track last weekend with it and I spanked my nice tires. So I had to put these 1.5-year-old tires that were just sitting in my garage, a lot thinner, so not as much grip. Found that out really quickly yesterday. But still a lot of fun. Keeps you dialed back a little bit when you know you don't have all the grip in the world.
Gotcha.